In schools we have registration period which can take 20 minutes, and over the years, and I've agreed with what Ofsted once wrote, it's slack time. So one of my time fillers on an educational basis, which children will tend to remember, is when I talk about unusual topics or a different approach to a topic. And here I do planet or plastic. I'm horrified to see in society the number of youngsters or adults that use bottled water that they've purchased from a supermarket. Young people think that you have to buy water because ordinary water is inferior. And I surprise them when I tell them I've never bought bottled water in my life in this country. I've had to do it overseas. I was very naughty in 1978, for example. I was living off 50 pence a day travelling around Egypt on a 10-week journey. I lived like the locals. I made a mistake of drinking water out of a clay pot and I caught Giardia dysentery. So I've always bought water overseas, but never in this country. And it really pains me to see the unnecessary use of bottled water. Plastic Revolution, printed by Wessex Water in their magazine. And I read this out to the audiences in school. We need to change how much plastic we are using to protect our environment and wildlife. Wessex Water is working across the region to support the reduction of single-use plastics in a number of ways. This is what it says. Make sure you drink enough water to stay healthy and hydrated during the day by using a refillable water bottle. I've only been buying these in the last 2 or 3 years. But I didn't buy water before then. I bought fizzy drinks which weren't too good for one's health. It says here, there's no need to buy single-use bottled water as we provide some of the best quality tap water in the world. Now, people these days are conned. They think, oh, if I buy water, it's got to be good. It's better than tap water, which is technically free. If I buy it, I could be a snob. I can afford to buy water. Someone in the 1980s, Perrier, Eban, who said, let's sell the public water and ponce up water for posh restaurants, the snob value. They really got the populace of this world hooked, didn't they? And I'm pleased to see that in a school teacher's secondary school magazine in February of 2020, there was an article written by teachers. And I'll just go through some of the points with you. YouGov research in April last year, found that 46% of us feel guilty about the amount of plastic we use, while more than 8 in 10 are actively trying to reduce the amount we throw away, and with good reason. Much of it cannot be recycled and ends up in landfill, floating in our rivers and oceans for decades or more. Children say, oh, I can buy water, the bottle's recyclable. I've seen quarter-filled bottles of water lying on classroom floors or in bins. There was a child in a school in Taunton. He threw his empty plastic bottle in the bin. I said to him, why don't you take it home and put it in your recycling bin? Oh, I can't be bothered. So I said to him, I'll take your bottle home for you. The article continues. According to the Environmental Audit Select Committee in 2017, every year the UK buys 7.7 billion water bottles and 3.3 billion of them are not recycled. Instead, they are littered, incinerated or left in landfill. So encourage pupils and staff to switch from buying bottled water to using reusable water bottles. Parents save money and the school saves on waste removal costs. And of course in schools, the catering companies want to make money out of children. And it is really unethical to see bottled water and flavoured water bottles on sale in school canteens. But there is hope on the horizon. Encourage and incentivise pupils to fill up their reusable bottles and put them in their school bag as part of their morning routine. This will create good habits to last a lifetime that universities and employers will value. In some schools, and I've heard, for example, not just West Houghton School in Bolton, but I've heard of the Blue School in Wales, that pupils now not only use reusable bottles but have completely stopped their canteen from selling bottled water. And I hear that Blue School don't allow children in school bringing in plastic bottles, the throwaway water type. So single-use plastic is everywhere and our schools are no exception. It is having extremely damaging impact on our wildlife and environment. As school leaders, we have the opportunity to help empower young people to challenge whether single-use plastic really needs to be used and come up with alternatives for a more sustainable future. And this leads me into the practical side of this video. Big size to take to work, to take to school in summer. In winter, I probably wouldn't get through this based upon past experience. The companies that sell us water are really contrary in their behaviour as far as their devotion is to cleaning up this planet. Smart water, there is an alternative. They say, oh, let's manufacture smart water. Let's put some electrolytes in there. Charge a few pence more. And this bottled water costs 45p. Do you need electric lights? Yes, after you run a marathon. I've never bought electric lights water. And then, let's sell them flavoured water, white grape and blackberry sparkling water. This has cost 65 pence. I picked the cheapest I could find. I will take these bottles back and get my money back. I've just bought them for the video. But you paid 65 pence for the privilege of a hint of grape and blackberry in your water. 65p. But for £1, you can buy a litre of lemon squash. Plus, of course, there are other fruit flavours. £1. And you can mix a hint of this with tap water to fill this probably for about a penny, which is going to save you 64 pence per litre. So you're paying 65 pence for this, and once you've bought your bottle and you bought your squash wholesale, big bottle, cheaper price, and you put a drop of this in here, you're going to fill this for about a penny compared to 65 pence. I saw a woman in the supermarket buying 12 bottles all covered in plastic in a 12 pack. And she said, oh, my daughter plays football. She needs to sit the football match. So why can't she take one of these to the football match? Then I saw the fire brigade putting out a fire and a fireman dishing out half-litre bottles of water to the fire brigade. I thought, why can't every fireman have one of these with their name on it attached to their uniform? There are ways that we can save this planet by using far fewer single-use plastic water bottles. And when children say to me, oh, they're recycled. No, they're not all of them. And I was horrified to learn that this country has sent our filthy waste to poorer countries. We pay them to recycle. China has stopped recycling for us, and our recycled plastic, etc., such as tins, they go to the Philippines or Vietnam. And a lot of the bottles then are not recycled. They're burnt, they're buried, because people take shortcuts. So I'm urging people not to buy plastic single-use bottles just containing water, because if there's an alternative, which there is in this case, don't buy this. If you want to buy a bottle of cherry flavoured lemonade, well then you're going to have to buy the plastic bottle, because there's no alternative. If you care about this planet, you will think twice before buying water. Forget the snob value, and forget the illusion that it's better for you than tap water. And forget all about electric lights as a selling point. You don't need them. So if you care about this planet, like I do, you will have a greater concern for this environment. And as the decades pass, more and more people are concerned about the environment. Back in 1986, I was travelling on a ship. I managed to hitchhike a free ride from Mauritania to the Canary Islands. And once the ship was 3 miles out to sea, the crew threw cardboard boxes and wooden crates of rubbish into the sea. They treated it as a free industrial dustbin. But I've been all over the world and I've seen plastic bottles washed up on beaches in paradise, and it is heartbreaking. And when I say to children, how many bottles do you think Coca-Cola manufacture a day in plastic? The answer staggers them. It's 3 billion. Then you could add 1 billion for all the other smaller companies in the world, such as Tesco and other supermarkets. We're looking at 4 billion plastic bottles a day being produced, which we've got to get rid of, recycle. Not many of them will be recycled, percentage-wise, and we are trashing the planet. And they've even found traces of plastic in the snow in the North Pole, and plastic lying at the bottom of the deepest ocean trench in the world, the Mariana Trench near Guam in the Pacific. So we are slowly destroying this plastic, and if people in 100 years' time have some form of cancer caused by plastic microbes in their liquid and in their food and in their fish and in the food chain, then this video should heed as a warning. Thank you for your attention.